Okay, g'day, world. Hello, world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Starbase Expanded episode 3. And so, once again, this is our low-key, relaxed sort of stream. So, we rely on questions and we'll slowly go through the sites. And we're happy to jump around from different sites to different sites. So, we're maybe going to have a little bit of a look at the ASU a bit later on in the process. But for now, we'll jump through the sites. Oh, hi, MLG Pure. Have a look at all the sites daily and we'll go into a little bit more depth of what's going on at each of the sites. So I'll start over in my Massive folder because that's where some of the other sites are as well. I know we go over these things in show and tell, but I find after show and tell quite often more information comes along. So I'm just going to reiterate quickly on the new testing bits and pieces we're finding over here at Massive. Something I didn't talk about on the show and tell is the bump pads that go on here. They're actually here at Massey's. I didn't realise that here, but our good friend BJ had picked up that they actually are here. So they're sitting over, I'm not sure if he's the only one, but we actually have the bump pads for that test rig here.
I think I am today years old, where I just think those are actually taller than the ones that they use on the tower.
In this dimension?
Yeah, because it looks like they're loading at the launch site, lifting at the launch site the fixed bumpers at the end, and they look like they're longer than the landing rail ones. But I could be wrong. Usually am.
I don't know about usually, but I think someone used to say, I'm right 50% of the time. I think that's a good stat.
I wish I could hit 50%, but hey, it's all good. All part of the fun.
I just can't think of the username right now. So yeah, they should be bolted or whatever onto these. And so I guess the big speculation I'll sort of reiterate is whether that's the only reason for this test rig. But for now it seems certain. So there's going to have to be something obviously added to this thing to hang those two bits of steel out here somewhere. I don't even know, is there any bits of steel around extra?
Just a metric ton of scaffolding.
Well, they do amazing things. Oh, sorry. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's what this, or is that where the X's were? Or maybe I was thinking maybe what this is something to make that new frame up on.
I think that's where they stage the vertical section, but that's not saying that they're not going to use it to assemble more parts.
So that'll be mostly squeeze testing, and the weight will be mostly over the center here, over here. So I can sort of see now why it doesn't have to have so much strength in here. It's just going to be sort of lifting up and down, maybe, over the center of sort of over here. So there'll be no sort of that way stress on this frame at all. It'll all be should all be equal straight down pretty well with the loads over here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's their sort of cantilevering the weight, sort of like those tower cranes do.
Oh, and the actual weight hanging over here will actually, counterbalance that sort of frame too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those pieces over at Sanchez that we keep wondering if they're part of those A-frames.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to whip up some extensions to hang those off of.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point, yeah. Good point. Because, yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to
think
say,
that's just
do you not think
mocking
this has been built?
somebody's, and it's you, and you're hearing your echo.
So go ahead, Martin.
Say, do you not think this thing has been built so it can just like tilt over?
No, that's all solid structure.
There's no bearings or anything down there now?
No.
Oh, that's sad.
But also, there's no, people say maybe those triangles were going to be some kind of back brace, but there's no, there's no, everything's accounted for here. There's no extra webbing or what do you call it, gussets or anything.
Well, as far as I know, when you sit the starship on top, just a ship, not a starship, the platform lines up with the lifting arms, which is really weird.
The platform also lines up with the forward flaps.
I was arguing the other day that it lined up with a Pez dispenser, but you know.
I think we've worked out roughly, someone did a nice side-by-side, I might have been John T, it did a nice side-by-side of the frame from one of Lab Padre's cameras and scaled a picture of maybe ship 36 here, and it lined up, yeah, pretty well where these would need to be to do a ship catch type test.
Do you think it should do a refueling?
No, just for catching. It's a catch test, like they did on Booster article. Oh, what was that one? It's in the script, I think. Way back.
14.1?
14.1, was it?
That was the one they used.
I wonder if that's the same accumulator. That's up on the.
It's you that's got the echo stuff.
I've got an echo.
Indeed.
How's that work? Oh, hang on. I'm not sure how. Matt?
Not anymore.
Oh. Okay. So you don't hear my Matt. Does anyone else hear an echo? What about chat? Have I got an echo, chat?
Don't hear an echo.
No echo.
Okay, cool. Oh, no. Oh, okay, I'll just listen to YouTube. I don't have an echo. Cool. Thank you. Something's happening on your end, Martin. So there's an accumulator on that frame now down there. Oh, no, it's different, I think. Down here. I was just wondering if it's the same accumulator that's on this thing. Oh, could be. By the time it's down to sort of that long, well, maybe not. So yeah, somehow they've got to create this, but even still, it looks. Oh, actually, they've got to create. Which way around's it going to be? It's going to be the flame trench that way. So a flap over here and a flap over here. So these need an arm. That needs an arm this way parallel with these, doesn't it? To the.
Yes.
To this.
The railing on the platform. If he's by the large pad. Yeah, that big section. Now I'm suspicious of those mystery structures over at Sanchez by the crane's point. Because that opening is significantly larger than.
Maybe Martin, maybe you have to mute the the stream in Discord, not me, but what I'm sharing. I have to mute that to stop the echo. This in chat. No, it's not an air tank. Oh, it's an accumulator for the hydraulic system, which I'm not sure is just oil or an oil air bladder system.
Is there any significance to those two square pads on the top of the posts in the center? Yeah, those guys. Do we know what?
Oh, sorry.
Go on, PK.
That was it's a mystery why and they seem very deliberate, obviously deliberately there. Unless it's something just to add, to create a triangle. But I'm not sure why it's there and not over here. So I'm sort of thinking the width, if they bring the brackets forward here, is that 9 meters in between there? Is that the width of the ship right here? We can get a bit of an idea of that by the frame, actually. Going back to the frame. So the frame is, so a ship's width is sort of in here somewhere. So the frame is sort of that far wider than a ship, which is about that distance there, isn't it?
Yeah. I think those outer pads are slightly... The inside of them is probably much closer to 9 meters than the outer.
So an extension up here would sit outside of the ship.
Correct. And probably the right position.
And maybe they need a triangle this way to create some kind of stabilization in this range to stop them to... Or maybe that gives them the strength. Oh no, because I'll probably put the actuators on between the two again, I guess, with chains. But it may give them some kind of stabilization in this direction. My only guess, who is that fella, I think? My only guess is it's creating some kind of triangle for some kind of strength in one of the directions or another. I don't know. I'm only guessing. Good question, though. Originally, I thought they were going to line up with, with the little T-Rex arms, but it's not at the right height for that. It's nowhere near the right height for that. They're way down lower. So for now, all it really seems to be is to do that squeeze test, which is kind of it's not very expensive, I suppose. Pretty quick and easy sort of way to do it, I guess. To me, I sort of originally thought it's just kind of a lot of wasting time and money for such a simple little test, but I guess not. So external sites, yeah, we'll look around the external tanks too. This show, it gives us a little bit more freedom to stop and sort of chat a bit about bits and pieces. I know sometimes even to me, it seems like it's a little bit of a repeat of the show and tell or even the live stream, but it allows us to spend a bit more time on individual things and not have to sort of run over all the little tiny updates in particular, like what we're doing right now. So we're welcome for any feedback, how we can make it better, but and we really welcome any questions in chat, because this show sort of relies more on questions as well, especially in days like today when your host hasn't really done much prep.
How about buy some body cams and go for a walk around Brinesville?
You said it, not us.
Sorry, Alex.
Nah, just being sarcastic.
Hey, you.
Shocking, I know.
So I guess I don't know what more to say about that frame and this test, and so I'm pretty sure what we're looking at is what we're going to see with that up here, and all I'm sort of thinking is maybe we'll see something else, this frame used for something else. On the other hand, they could simply do this test and then just get pulled back down again, and that's all we see of it ever again.
I think this is a permanent structure that they're just going to use as a general work platform.
Yeah, okay, I'd like to see that. Yeah, it's not surviving a 36 event, that's for sure. Maybe that's what it's for. In the long term, it's there to absorb the energy. No, I'm kidding.
I'll just get a kick out of it if it's like ibuprofen and nobody has any clue what it's going to be for until we actually see what happens, and then everybody slaps their foreheads.
Exactly.
Never happens.
My initial comic thought was it was called the frame to keep the cartel snipers from shooting holes in it while they're testing it.
I love that.
Yeah, who's that? Brianna. Yeah, Brian. Brian Aries. I keep calling you Brianna. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, I think everyone's a bit confused. Although, these showing up sort of, I think is a fairly major clue, and the pads, the little pads up here at the front of the site, are giving us a bit of direction for now. But like Lawrence says, there's opinion or speculations that it could be there as a work platform moving forward and so on, other uses in the future. So, yes, we're still very much confused.
Well, they did those slap tests so easily with just jury rigging something. I think if that's all it was for, they would never have built this thing. I think the idea of it being a platform that they can do all kinds of tests on in the future, whether it's for this or for HLS or for Mars lander or for whatever they want to do, they've got a platform that they can rig stuff up high and have workmen up there without a big issue.
I wouldn't say for work, for construction, but definitely for testing things.
Yes, for testing. I didn't mean for work, but yes, for testing.
Cool, yeah.
A work platform for them to get up there and rig their testing.
Yeah, good question. Would it be painted if it was permanent? Well, it hasn't been finished yet. I mean, it could get painted sooner or later, but not necessarily.
Yeah, the way SpaceX paints stuff, it could be painted in a night.
Like a third of it, and then they'll wander off for a week or two.
Might take a bit longer if they're painting it with celery.
Exactly, Alex. Yeah, not necessarily at all there, Martin. Okay, so I think we've pretty well talked about that as much as we're going to. I mean, I've always said this is overbuilt. For even for that test, it's overbuilt. I mean, it does have the accumulators and that here, so it's obviously with the hydraulics, it's sort of everything's mirrored here with the hydraulics and the accumulator and so on. And I guess I'll still use this, rather than trying to put force. I mean, maybe they're not going to use this, and maybe they are going to use force against this to put the force on the ship. I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's got to be moved up and down. Maybe there's going to be some, maybe they're going to slide. There was talk that maybe they'll slide these things up and down the ship, or from the lower up the ship, to make sure that the ship where these will slide against can handle it and not damage the tiles too much. How will they get up there? There's no stairs, yeah.
Scaffolding.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still being constructed, so give it time, guys. And by the deluge tank, there's quite a bit of scaffolding staged too.
There's your staircase. It's actually started already. That's getting constructed. Actually, I think that's your answer right there. Actually, I think that's what that's going to be. It's going to continue up all the way up the side here, and maybe that's even some attachment points for it, or maybe not. Oh, there's another one, maybe.
When they lifted them.
Okay, yeah. Is it access on this side? There's no real sign of where the access is going to be yet.
Too bad they don't have any windmill lifts that they can just go up with that.
Yeah, true.
Alaska, don't bring practicality. I kid.
Yeah, I know.
Bit of work in there. Looks good. What's that thing over there?
Generator, power washer, compactor. Maybe a plate compactor.
Definitely looks like a pressure washer.
Well, the platforms sit level. Parallel to the ground. Doesn't look level up here. No, that's level to the ground. That's horizontal. That's where it's going to sit. And it doesn't look. This was an illusion. This X brace, it's an illusion. They're actually the same height. Took me ages to get that illusion out of my head. But the cross braces, that is all the same. The top's the same height, horizontal that way as well. That's perfectly flat up there. It's just that side image. It really makes the makes everything look wrong. 170 in chat. Cool. Welcome everybody. Those who have arrived late. Now, I keep getting this question about this area over here, and it's still owned by the US government. SpaceX may acquire it. There's speculation about it being a second flame trench. I mean, there is room there for it. It does leave the methane tank horribly exposed, so maybe not that. But Lawrence, last night we were talking maybe even a Raptor engine stand.
I think they'd want another structural test stand more than anything.
Like a super crusher.
Yeah, or like how they had the pop area previously before all this was built out.
Yeah, right here. Oh, right, actually here, I think, somewhere, wasn't it? Here. Actually, about here. Because that tent was about here, I think. Boy, that's going back a bit. Okay, so massive. So not much else. I don't think there's much to talk about over here necessarily.
I think the cap came off today.
The cap came off this?
No, the 2-ring on 18.
That piece right there.
They took it back up again?
Yes.
Yep.
What?
And then the crane moved over to the static fire stand.
It needed a new coat of wax before they do any testing.
Oh, so it is. Oh, they moved. Okay, wow. Oh, I missed that.
I'm assuming they're going to put the rest of the X braces on.
Oh, over here.
Yeah. Surprised they're not using the new Tridano crane.
What on earth are they doing?
Fit test.
Just a fit test. All right.
They were up there working on both sides of that thing yesterday, I think, if my memory is correct. So they may have found something that they want to bring it down and fix it.
Or they did the test last night.
No, the cap is supposed to go on top of that and pull down on it.
Yeah, well, we're expecting anyway. We're expecting this second cap here to go on top. They've got the poles. They've got the rams installed down in there. Hang on. So I might show it. They've got all the half of the rams anyway installed already down here. I mean, here's one. There's another one. They've got all the mounts underneath there for all of the rams. And yeah, they've got the poles to pull down on for it. The rod, sorry. Yeah, they must have, like, who was Alaska just said, they must have found something they didn't like. Or a fit test, or maybe one of the clamps didn't. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's being held down by chain blocks at this stage. Maybe they, I don't know, I didn't think this thing had active clamps on it anyway. That's a big miss. I didn't even notice that in the chats this morning. There you go. So I'm not sure about much else at Massey's. Surprised it does not tie down to counterbalance the load. Ah, that's something else.
Stephanie, what's going on with the COPV testing?
We saw some more getting rolled out. They're probably there as we speak. So they're still doing COPV testing back there. So they've got the, oh, hang on a sec. I'm not sure I've got the photo straight up. Last week, or last flyover last year, we saw the steel frames that hold 4 COPV tanks vertically together. So they match this 4-way manifold. So they're still testing COPV testing. I'm not sure if they're testing COPVs directly or whether they're seeing how the COPVs respond to how they want the GSC equipment to, as far as how fast they want to fill them up and things like that.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
The COPVs, Alex teaches me every week that the COPV testings have a long history. They're a well and truly known commodity. They're well tested throughout their evolution. So that's, I don't think they're actually testing the COPVs directly, but when you put a known product into an unknown environment, being a brand new rocket launching system, perhaps there's some things that need to be checked over and make sure they push the envelope somewhere with COPVs, whether it was a stuck valve or whether they're actually pushing the envelope, because they do want to do quick, refills for the booster for the propellants, and that would include the COPVs being filled quickly as well. Down to maybe they're at 45 minutes now. Maybe they want to get it down to half an hour, and maybe there's that little bit of tweaking starting to push the edge of the envelope of what COPVs can do. There's so many variables going on with them.
Brian Arias is asking if we think the COPV tester will be permanent, and pretty sure it won't be. Looks extremely impermanent.
Is anything permanent at Starbase?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, with the way that they made the wall and all that kind of stuff, that can all easily be taken apart and gotten rid of.
It can be, but they still got HESCO barriers over on the other side of Massey's right there that have been there for, 3 years?
Yeah.
A nice community garden now.
And I guarantee if they needed that spot, they'd have no qualms taking it out of there either.
Absolutely. No, you're right. We're not sorry. That wasn't to say what you're saying is wrong, Matt. Of course.
No, I know.
They've even got dirt underneath it. They've even concreted underneath it still from way back. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of mentioning on what we see from SpaceX from time to time. They'll just leave something, and then as soon as they need the space, they have no qualms just tearing it all apart.
Absolutely.
The other thing that I question, and I have no basis for it other than the idea popped in my head, is what if they found a new manufacturer for COPVs that they're having issues with that hasn't been this years and years and years of history. And so now they're double checking everything.
Yeah, even new tech. I think Alex just saying they got the newest COPVs actually don't have a steel line or some. I don't know. You could be right, Alex. There's so many. There's probably a lot of correct answers. There's probably some correct answers, not a lot of wrong answers, whatever. But yeah.
Still looks like they're using Type 4, not Type 5.
Okay, cool.
A urethane or type liner rather than straight carbon fiber.
Oh, you mean in the overwrap?
Yeah, inside of it. Type 5 are pure carbon fiber, and 4 they're using a plastic inner liner instead of aluminium or steel or Inconel, depending on.
And do you know exactly the pros and cons versus or between using the two different ones?
Weight, primarily. What material you're putting in is more sort of secondary. They all have slightly different performance pros and cons. Smaller molecules are probably better with Type 4 rather than 5, but I honestly haven't read too much about the differences.
So did you say the later Type 5s don't carbon fiber over carbon fiber?
Yep.
So they're not composite anymore?
They're composite, but they're not. They're composite like a bike frame is a composite.
Okay, cool. So cool. Good question. And yeah, that's tricky answer, but yeah, they've obviously had some issues with COPVs, so they're testing them to try and stop those issues. You wouldn't want what happened to. I wonder how that'd go with there was a ship sitting on top of a booster and it blew out like that. It'd probably fall over, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
And if 36 happened on a launch site, that'd be not a good day, especially with a full wet dress and a booster full of propellants as well underneath it. Probably wouldn't be a good day either. In fact, I think they were a bit lucky there. Like, I don't know, I keep imagining that if 36 had blown up on top of a booster full of propellants, that maybe the booster would also blow up as well.
It would not have survived that. No.
But it would have only been for pad scrap, so it wouldn't have been such a big issue, I guess. I guess it would have helped them with demolition work. Anywho. Potato. They did have still a couple of launches to go, didn't they? Okay, so next thing I want to see roll from here would be this thing to go and pick up booster number 19. It'd be nice. Seems like it's pretty well ready to go. I think Lawrence was saying that the time frame is roughly this week. Is it roughly the time frame that booster 19 should be ready for a cryo test?
At least this should be rolling this week.
What's that? Hippos in that shot. The COPVs were aluminium, now composite metal. Not sure what that means.
I haven't. Ones that ruptured were definitely not aluminium core.
That was steel core, yeah?
No, those were Type 4s. It's a a plastic type liner.
Okay, yeah. Thrust puck testing station, yeah. It's looking pretty well back together. Doesn't seem to be anybody real working on it. Oh, there is still one machine here, but looks pretty well clear of workers and workers' equipment. They got up fairly lightly with the booster anomaly and a little bit of projectile damage.
Yeah,
Looking
luckily
like
the aft pretty much protected the pistons.
with CASPs, so with 18's timeline, 19 would roll tomorrow. So you're right, it's around this week. Lance. Yep. Thank you.
No, I'm going to channel my inner Webby and say it'll be next month.
2 weeks.
Still on time. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Always 2 weeks. Okay, well, that pretty well wraps up Massey's. I think we've probably spent way enough time on that. It's probably getting a bit boring now. So let's head over to quickly go. While we're here at Massey's, we might just go around to the other site. Seems though that's one of our promotion points that we go around to the other sites a bit. So there's that site. Not much going on with it. Is this all that new crane stuff?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Are we almost down to only crane stuff here? And rusting hulks?
Pretty much.
Old turntables that look like they're never going to get used again. Oh,
I'm
unless
not
they're
sure.
going to go in Gigabay.
I don't think one of them ever was used.
One of them
No, it
never
wasn't.
got used.
Yeah, sat out there for a couple of years. And then got moved here.
Which one's the right way up? That one.
Once it's on top, that one would sit on top of the lower one, I think. And that rope, or that one might be sitting already on its base. I forget.
The one on the left is the one that's the right way up. So yeah, that's the one that came out with high bay, I think.
Oh, high bay.
Yeah.
Wow, geez. Oof, that's going back a bit.
And that crate just to the left on the ground is straight down. That one has one of the bearing for the one that wasn't used.
Oh, cool. Yep.
So yeah, I don't think any of this is ever going to get used.
Is that a crane outrigger?
Looks like. Nate?
Yeah, the frog legs.
Yeah.
Frog legs, yeah, that's the word. Can you ever remember a time we would think Massey's would be boring? Not really. Massey's has always been a hive of activity. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Those are some extra pumps up there.
Actuators.
Oh, yeah.
Scottish jokes.
Lots of bits and pieces from all over the place, man. Oh, brand new ones, maybe. Maybe not.
Both of them are new. Those are globe valves for throttle control.
Are they like a ball valve, are they?
Globe ball. Yeah. Not, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, but yeah, they're so that you can adjust the flow rate.
Cool. Chat's having a bit of a chat over there. Yeah, all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
Oh. A bunch of the trench covers.
Over there.
Yeah.
Not sure why that thing just zoomed out there. They sell these bits and pieces from time to time. I understand these are crane parts.
Yeah,
That's the heavy lift block. The travel block.
A little bit of electrical stuff left over, a bit of junk left over, some racks, whatever.
Pull-out conduit.
Is that conduit, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why are they stacking them like that?
That's how they come off from the factory. They're all palleted up.
Oh, is that to clear the bell ends, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, they just alternate them.
Yeah, bell end. Sorry. Not you. Not you. What? All sorts of weird and wonderful things in here. And how many trailers they own? They can just leave stuff lying around on trailers.
Yes.
The bus is gone.
They have a
Oh,
very,
there's that crane.
Why are they keeping those beat up crane mats?
Why are they keeping that beat up crane?
To warn the other cranes?
Insurance?
Hey, this is interesting. Is this the water line they're running here still, is it?
Definitely some kind of drilling operation.
Yeah, they were doing that last October when we were down there. They're just moving along the highway. Along with the lane expansion, they're putting in that water line.
Yeah.
That's that run here they're putting in maybe to there.
Yeah. Looks. And then further down it looked like. Oh no, that's.
They moved? They probably they may already have it in there and they're doing the lane expansion there.
Drop-off lanes at the school or.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Staff parking, drop-off.
So maybe in school buses, I guess, from the village over to here. I imagine it's like as the community and like the school kids and that from going from the build site to here and that they'd be like daycare, I guess, for before and after school and so on. I'd imagine they've got it pretty well set up quite nicely for the workers there and for their kids. Let's give you some bit of perspective. These images are awesome to give a bit of perspective as to where everything is in comparison to each other. So this is the old Ad Astra, and the new Ad Astra is just over here. So I guess this photo is, there's that. Yeah, so these photos can be sort of stitched together. There's that accommodation building and masses, and there's that same accommodation building. There's the plane. And then the storage lot over here.
What a many. Speaking of.
There's still lots of steel getting staged for the Gigabay. I'm not sure. I have to have a look around. don't know that I've seen the photos from the Brownsville site. They might be in a different folder. I'll have a quick look around as we move around. We might go back to that yet. So once again, without an OCD, BJ, we can say they're bits of steel, they're bits of steel, and they're bits of steel for the columns and so on.
That's not very nice. You got to save those comments for when he's around.
I should, yeah. He's pretty amazing how he keeps track of all this stuff. Pretty impressed, to be honest. Which is the Gigalot? So there's this lot for Gigabay steel, and there's one in Brownsville. I'm not sure which one's called in quotes Gigalot. Well, there's this one of them, and then there's one at Brownsville.
It's funny. It looks like just to the right, there's more of the utility work happening.
Yeah, there's another directional borer. That's equipment.
Yeah, and the other side is right on the other side of that entrance.
Yep, it looks like they're drawing the conduits through from over here. Oh, here, look. Oh, that is that.
Yep.
Well, this is where we need Dave. Is that actually the water pipe they're pulling in, yeah?
Probably.
Sheesh, it's a decent size.
Or
I
the
would
gas,
expect it.
or natural gas one.
Oh, yeah.
I think they need like almost a 12-inch main to supply their liquefaction plant when they build it.
I think that's the first time we've actually seen equipment in our photos like this. Is that more digging over there? Oh, no, that's just natural soil.
Yeah. They have all the, looks like, communication duct laid out. They haven't pulled through.
There were, when I was there in October, when I was there in October, there was, you'd run by a patch of that for a quarter mile or so, and then nothing for a while, and then there'd be another patch of it just all down the highway.
Yeah, aren't they doing the comm slides in front of the build site right now?
I'm not sure if that's what they're doing or if they are expanding the highway, because that also is supposed to go to 4-lane also.
Well, they've been digging trenches and laying stuff in there, so that's why I was asking.
And I don't think the highway expansion's gotten the final environmental approval yet.
Well, but they were doing that last October. There is definitely places where there's a third lane added on one side and some places where the third lane is added on the other side, all up and down that highway between Brownsville and the build site.
That's what I thought too when I was there, that they were expanding the road.
Yeah, because eventually it's supposed to be 4 lanes from Sanchez to Brownsville.
Yeah.
Were they using them as passing lanes?
Oh, sorry, Todd. Say again.
Sorry, were they using those as passing lanes or turning lanes, or what was the use that they were using them while you guys were there?
It was still dirt, but they were building them up. Some on one side of the highway and some on the other side of the highway. Just depended. It was patchworked again, just like the water and the communications lines they're putting in. You'll go by a stretch of 3 or 4 miles on one side, and then nothing, and then you'll go by a stretch of a couple miles on the other side, where they are adding a lane.
That might be the sections that aren't is protected, because the documents from, I think it was October, they still were public comment because they're looking for suitable land for doing the swaps for whatever habitat that's getting paved over.
Actually, that makes some sense, because there was definitely no work going on where there was water right up next to the road. It would just stop and there'd be a blank spot. not down there, but back by Massey's and stuff like that. When a body of water moves up close to the highway, the work would just stop. They wouldn't try to bridge over it or fill in those areas.
Event dudes in the chat saying you're conflating two different highway construction projects. There's also a resurface project.
I was just about to say, just adding a lane, I think, is not the major upgrade work where they're actually going to add another whole, basically a whole second highway, like a whole, you know what I mean?
It was clearly a third lane. It wasn't a resurfacing issue.
And they're doing it on both sides of the highway. So you're going to get one lane on each side. It's just some places they had worked on one side, some places they had worked on the other side. But they're definitely putting it in.
Yeah, understandably, but I think what Evented's saying too, and I kind of agree with him, is that eventually there's going to be a whole duplication to make it more like an interstate, as far as I'm aware. So there'll be actually another whole double lane highway, or even some places the third lane, over on this side as well.
They have made a place right there for a lane on both sides. They're already working on the one side, that side. And look at the other side, there is a place for it on the other side as well. It's going to be 4 lanes wide. It's not going to be a divided highway. It's going to be a 4-lane wide highway.
There is a 4-lane highway with 2 8-foot shoulders and I think a 12-foot center lane, which is what the long-term proposal is, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
So there will be a second, like basically a second 2 lanes over here somewhere.
No. They'll just make it wide enough.
Eventually there will be.
They'll just make this thing wide enough for 4 lanes with a center divider.
I'm not sure about that. I need more information on that. I was under the idea there was actually going to be like an interstate with a medium strip in between.
Right. But you can do that in the area they already have.
They're not going to tear down those power lines and move them again when they just put them in 3 years ago.
Well, they have been moving them. There's places where they have moved the power lines over.
Yeah, they've been moving them.
I'll try and
there is one stretch about 100 yards long where they doubled up and moved power lines, as far as I know.
No, there were other ones that have moved since we've been down there.
Okay.
I don't have it this week, but in previous weeks, they had actually been moving power lines way out of the way.
That's the area that was moved when we were down there, right there.
Yeah. They had doubled up on the power poles and they were moving them in, but it was just that one little stretch that was there when we were there.
And Dave Avery was pointing out that it looked like it was being set up for a substation of some sort. But I think if you go down to the housing down by Richardson, down in that area, I think they moved all those poles back off also.
Yeah, in previous weeks, there's been some good images of that actually. But anyway, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I thought there was decent paperwork. So from the existing
I think there are 2 separate projects for that road going on. There's the ultimate 4-lane superhighway, and then there's some sort of an interim working within the existing confines that they have available to them now.
I'll quote some paperwork from CAPSPA. From the existing 2-lane roadway to a 4-lane divided roadway with 2 12-foot travel lanes and an 8-foot paved shoulder in each direction with a 12-foot flush paved median separating opposite traffic.
Yeah, that's the long-term one that they haven't gotten approved yet.
Yes. In the interim, yeah, they may make just the 4 lanes with the room they have, which sort of seems like what they're doing, doesn't it?
The other thing I did notice when we were down there is they were working on those lanes on either side, and they quit doing all the repair work on the existing pavement. So it was a lot worse shape this time than any time I've been down there.
And thank you, Clements, for the €5.99 super chat, saying thank you for your work, RGV. We appreciate you.
I appreciate people listening to us babble on for 2 hours, to be honest.
The one thing that they did do about the additional lanes that they're building, they are digging down about 3 feet or more and putting in a big sub base. So they're doing it right. It's just not a patch and a light patch for the road to expand it. They're building it deep and proper.
So probably, and then is there any concrete under this Highway 4 as it is now, like on the main stretches, or is just bitumen over dirt or gravel, over road base?
It's a road base. It's only about 12 inches deep. It's really bad.
Yeah, okay. And then just bitumen on top of whatever you call it over there.
Yep.
And eventually, when they build a new road, they'll actually put concrete on top, perhaps.
I'm glad
not concrete. Probably stick with asphalt, but they'll put in a proper sub base, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm glad you think that's a proper sub base. Up here, a lot of times they'll dig down 15 or 20 feet.
We don't have permafrost.
Yeah, that's true. It looked awfully shallow to me, all the times I've seen them digging roads down there.
That's the same way I feel when I look at a lot of foundation work being in earthquake country.
I mean, when they redid all the roads down around the build site and down to the launch pad, they used that same construction where they went down 3.5 feet or more and put in the sub base and built it back up. So those roads have been holding up pretty well for the last couple of years anyway.
Well, they rebuilt the road between Richardson and the build site was rebuilt, and there's places along there this last October that were failing.
No, that's true. But if you think about where that is, you've got water on both sides of the road and you get water incursion over top of the road. So you're probably going to have a lot more clay and mud in that area that you don't know up on the other side of the build site. Right there.
Right in there. There's places where the road's failing.
And we got $10 super chat from Turtle Sanctuary saying, about to flip the medium well crow on the grill. Need to count how many well done do we need. Just for your information, there are no more rare crow available.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's half the fun. Trust me. Okay, we'll just finish on these couple of sites here. They love just not quite finishing things off, don't they?
99%'s as good as 100.
That's the playground.
Oh, what's this river access? Huh? Is that? Oh, that's not the river anyway.
No, actually, that little windy bit connects right over to the school.
Ah, maybe the kids can get on their push bike and ride to school around that way. Try not to get eaten by an alligator. Would there be alligators in here?
There could be.
Well, your alligators are more like pet dogs rather than like our crocodiles. I'm joking. I wouldn't like to face an alligator.
I got the impression this was contractor housing. I don't think you're going to see a lot of kids in here, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, true. This is not family environment at all, for sure. These would be even just single people's accommodation even. Maybe twin share. Okay, over Rio West. Jeez, this side's looking nicely finished all the way along, really. Even the deck's up on top.
Yeah, looks like all the grass is in, all the landscaping's good.
Pretty landscaping. I'll even put fences in for them.
Yeah, tons of new plants out there.
That's to keep the alligators out.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me, actually. A water treatment plant, I guess. So sewage on the sewage on this site would have to be. There's no plant here. That'd all be trucked out, wouldn't it? Maybe via this area. I don't see a black water tank at each site, so they'd have to all go to a central spot somewhere, I'd imagine, and get trucked out.
With all the piping we saw put into this site, there's probably.
Oh, that might be sewage. That might be sewage because I think there's a water line that comes from Sanchez up to here. Because there's a fire hydrant, I believe, right at the corner of Richardson, right down Richardson and Route 4, somewhere down there.
Somewhere
I'm not
down
saying
here.
you're wrong, but that just seems like really small for that many houses. But I don't know what that would look like, so could totally be wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I
when
agree,
I was
it
saying
does look small.
Yeah, same.
More like a pico.
Do they have
effluent plant rather than a micro?
Or each house gets a time when they can flush and when they can't.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go over real good with the ladies.
Oh,
No.
see, they have outhouses for the houses. See, porta potties out right there, right
Yeah,
by your
looks
mouth.
That looks
There
more
you
of
go.
a pump station rather than a effluent treatment.
Yeah, I didn't imagine effluent treatment, but yeah, somewhere where the effluent just goes to get pumped into trucks, say, for instance, just a small storage sort of facility. And they get trucked out in trucks, perhaps. Not in
So
bigger
it's
trucks.
interesting. You see those two pumpers there? Those two pump trucks?
Yeah.
They might just be transfer from there down to the sewage plant on Sanchez, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Is at least in the interim.
Till they pump it down there in a proper line.
Right.
Unless that line was actually, you're saying, a water line, maybe it was a sewage line, maybe this is a pump station to pump back to Sanchez even.
Usually for sewer, they do a cut and cover rather than pulling it with directional boring.
All I know is whoever's got the house next to it's a little unlucky.
It's a very nice plot of land for putting their pump effluent handling.
Living next to them must be really. Oh, never mind. We're on YouTube.
Don't open your windows.
Apparently you get used to the smell anyway. I don't have a bigger shot to see a development in there this week. Looks like the front's all done. These over here are looking nicely sort of finished up too. They're flash looking. Flash one, eh? All little boxes all in a row. How's that song go? Okay, now over here we've got a little bit of a glimpse of the restaurant. Chompies, Munchies, not Munchies, Chompies, Munchies. That'd be better called Munchies than Chompies. If you know, you know. All right,
The
so
bring
that's
your own beer bar.
we looked at that site. So no, there's nothing at the Brownsville site this week.
I thought it was in other images because I couldn't remember. I thought we had a view of like the parking lot, the employee parking lot, and there's another storage yard. I could
A
be
quick look in
crazy.
here. Actually, while we're here, we can digress, can't we? Hang on. Here it is. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. So is this what you're calling Giga lot, I guess?
Yeah,
think that's
that's
the
the one.
Yeah, that's the W steel lot.
Chompies, yeah.
WW Steel Erector lot.
Yep.
They're all the different bits of Gigabay. Geez, so I say they do well. I mean, it's not, once again, it's not a new industry to be able to have all this sort of amount of steel and the logistics involved. It's pretty well known sort of trade. This is by far not the first big building like this that's ever gone up. It's still amazing.
Compared to the jobs they have on their that they highlight on their website, it's not even it's a small job for them.
Yeah, I'll compare to some of the other projects, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, even at this refinery site, those what have I done? Some of these framework, there's almost as much steel in these frameworks here as there is in Gigabay, to be honest.
Multiple gigabays worth of steel here.
And it's much the same, isn't it? The same bracing, and it's very much the same sort of technology. It actually looks exactly the same, to be honest. K supports and our cross supports. This site is more of a logistical challenge, I would imagine. So I jumped around to get on y'all.
You never do that.
I kind of like this show's format where I can I find it a bit more relaxing to present this show than the other shows, to be honest. Little boxes made of ticky-tacky. That's it, Matt. You know the song. Little boxes made of ticky-tacky all in a row. You see it in a lot of estates, new development sites where all the houses are cookie cutted. I'm pretty sure that's a SpaceX parking lot for their employees.
It is with all the Cybertrucks.
More Cybertrucks. Cybertruck for you, Cybertruck for you.
At least we know they're starting to pass them out.
Yeah. Yeah, if someone gave me a Cybertruck, I wouldn't say no.
They weren't giving them out according to Dave Avery. They were renting them out or leasing them to the employees.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
At a very steep price also, he said.
Not cheap vehicles.
No, aren't they more than 100 grand new? 100 and something thousand each? 170 or something silly?
Yeah.
About 115.
They're not.
Sorry, was that Alaska what?
About 115 if you load it up, do all the fancy stuff on it.
Okay. Is that all-wheel drive too? 2 motors?
3 motors on the advanced one.
Cool. So what, 2 for the rear drive and 1 for the or vice versa. One for the rear drive and independence on the front, yeah, for steering.
I think that's the way it is, yeah.
I love electric motors on vehicles, how they're so simple, no real drive chains and gearboxes and all the other rubbish that ICE engines have. I mean, there's always going to be a place for ICE engines for a while, I guess. In Australia, there's a truck company who's got a hot swap. I'm pretty sure it's in Australia. They've got a hot swap system for their truck fleet, for their battery units, and just doing mostly I think it's just like local deliveries around Melbourne, but still semi trucks, 22 wheelers. And we'll go back to the ASU unit to the ASU site at build site a bit later on, but here's the one at Brownsville, chupping away. It's probably here. So that's the main sites for Starbase sites. We'll have a quick look. I seem to have tidied up a lot here at the storage site here at the airport. So this whole area, all the transformers are sort of moved down here now. Have they actually made squares? Have too for their logistics now.
Yeah, they've actually cleaned this up a lot. There's a lot of things that have actually left. So they've been clearing it out and freeing up space.
Someone couldn't find the Starbase sign. It was along here. The other one, the gateway to Mars is still, where is it over there? Is it? Yeah, the gateway is still there, but I think the SpaceX sign is gone. I couldn't quite get a good view of the whole fence line. It was somewhere along here earlier. It might be in the gap. So there's a gap between that photo and this photo. I'm not sure if it's in the gap. Let me see those things.
Yeah, it was just lying on the ground for the longest time.
Oh no,
Oh,
there's
look
not a
like
gap.
that.
No, there's not a gap. That bit there is that bit there. Yeah. No, there's not a gap. Yeah. So it is gone. Yeah. I should put it on top of the factory. I mean, on top of the office / factory. So every now and again, we see them do a cleanup. We saw it at Sanchez a little while ago near the imagery tent. So they seem to have done a similar thing here. It's a bit of a cleanup. Finally getting rid of version 1 and 2, all the version 1 and 2 stuff, which I guess there's a few bits and pieces that could still be used on version 3s. But oh, thanks for the feedback there, Todd Inkaboo, or whatever you say your name. Oh, Todd Dinkaboo, Inkabo.
Todd in Cabo.
Oh, in Cabo. Where's Cabo? Cabo. Is that like
Bahamas, if I'm not mistaken.
Mexico.
nice?
I know Cabo Wabo, Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm not a world traveler, as you can tell.
Look at me either. It's a little bit out my budget. Oh, flex hoses.
Free to whoever wants to pick them up.
Yeah, they're for free. Free flex hoses just sitting there on the side of the road. I always say that when I see something sitting on the side of the road, I go, oh, look, a free thing. It's nice to get some of those sort of overall shots sometimes. Sort of check out how you do things in America. It's looks like any suburb in Australia, to be honest. It's very much the same. There's some of those ticky-tacky boxes all in a row. Look at them all. Oh, is this a trailer park? Is it what you're calling a trailer park? Oh, no, not quite. Oh, it sort of is,
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah, that's a trailer park.
Manufactured
Tornado Bay.
homes.
Cool. Well, they have their place. I mean, They're necessary in society as a whole. No judgment.
Can you go back to that picture a sec? Please.
Hang on. Sure.
I'm trying to see the right-hand side, upper right-hand corner. That Storm Creek there. Isn't it? No, that's not the border. Okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking that was the border.
No. Just a storm drain. It's fairly flat here, isn't it, around this area? So those sort of storm drains would be necessary, wouldn't they? Like it'd flood easily here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that area of Texas is definitely flat.
It looks pretty dang flat. Yeah, look at that. Looks like parts of Australia that I grew up in. It's flat as far as you can see. Flat as a table as far as you can see in all directions. It's kind of pretty, but I don't know. I live in the mountains now, and it's even prettier up here, of course. But there's a certain amount of beauty in the flat country. You kind of got to be born there, I think, to see it. Geez, there's a lot of cooling equipment there. It's amazing. So we know there for the LNG plant, all this sort of stuff. Right next door to the windmill stuff. Looks like you guys in America are going fairly big with wind farms. I know there's a lot of discussion either side, but I personally think it's not a bad idea to harvest a bit of wind.
Texas has the most renewable energy of any state.
I know they're not ideal, but I mean, no power generation's ideal, to be honest. There's always pros and cons with different types of power generation. I know in Australia we get a lot of pushback on renewables, but I think overall there's a place for them in our future.
You'll need about 4 times the nameplate capacity to make it work, but yeah.
So I was saying the ASU, now these probably aren't to do with the ASU, these 3 tanks. We've got a pretty good idea. Maybe they're going in next to the new methane tanks at the launch site. That's still in speculation though. Oh, there's one of those trailers they bred over at, where was that we're looking at?
McGregor, when we were talking about the breeding.
Yeah. There was a little one of these next to one of these in the same colours. We thought they might be breeding over there at McGregor's.
Yeah,
we built
Sorry.
better trailers.
Yeah, the performance trailers. In the latest McGregor flyover picks, they moved in there as well.
Yeah, well worth to cross promote. Well worth having a look at the flyovers shots at McGregor. I don't have access that I can share on this stream. I would love to, but yeah, there's some awesome images coming in from McGregor. Well worth sharing your membership around the different channels to keep an overall view of everything that goes on around Starbase, because McGregor's is a good indicator, isn't it, Alex? I mean, Lawrence. So what do we see there? Raptor. The trailers for the Raptor engines. There may be a Raptor vacuum moving soon. By look at one of the photos, perhaps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the first RVACs, R3 RVACs, start shipping out and showing up in Starbase real soon.
I mean, we don't catch all those. Probably know some may have even been moved. Oh, this port's nice. It's not. I know it's only a small port in the scheme of things, but it seems like a fairly busy sort of a port. considering where it is in the very bottom corner of America. Although, what's the next port up? Be like, it'd be a fair way up the coast, wouldn't it? The next port in America.
Galveston.
Corpus Christi, is it? Is that somewhere?
Corpus Christi, then Galveston.
And is Galveston too a fairly, industrial materials sort of like liquids and so on sort of port as well? Yeah.
I think Galveston's like the second biggest on the south, outside of New Orleans. It's, I think, the second biggest port.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So contain.
They also
So
do a
can-
lot of cruises out of Galveston.
Nice. Yeah. And I imagine container stuff as well. So they don't seem to do container stuff here much. Is there even maybe up in that top corner? There's a container port. Over here somewhere, maybe. No, they don't. They don't have a big container depot here, do they? At all?
This is quite a ways from anywhere to get containers to. You're going to have west coast of the United States and east coast of the United States are going to be container ports going across the Atlantic and across the Pacific. To get to here, you've got to go across the Atlantic and then all the way across the Gulf of Mexico to get, or America, or whatever you want to call it, to get up into here.
Yeah, exactly. As I was saying that, I was thinking, yeah, it is a little bit. And it doesn't actually, because it's at the bottom of tip of America, like the bottom of sort of Texas too, it's a fair way up into America to deliver stuff as well, isn't it? As well as getting stuff here. Good point. How's our aircraft carrier going? USS KFC.
FC.
Did
I
you
mean,
say
Finger looking good.
Yeah, I did. I did that again. JFK. Sorry, man, I do that every time. I apologize.
The Colonel's
I'm thinking,
long
hang on.
gone by now.
Thinking his first name's not K. His last name's bloody K. Looks like a materials handler. Are they just sheet piles there too? Is that what's going on down there?
Yes. Concrete infill.
Pretty versatile building system, that. Cool. Yeah, so they're making good progress with that ship. Not sure we're going to notice much change over here at the LNG plant. Then again, hang on. This is the newest train, is it? Oh no, that's the newest train. So they're still digging
and-
piles for the newest train.
And that Port of Brownsville is only ranked 41st of busiest ports in the U.S., so it's very small.
A baby, yeah.
And Galveston does have a container yard, but it's nothing like the East and West Coast.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not like Long Beach, LA Long Beach.
Oh, that
Yeah.
baby port?
Yeah. We hardly get any freight into this area.
There's not a lot of freight that's needed in this area.
Yeah, so work continuing to putting that rebar on top of those roofs. They don't seem to poured any concrete yet, or they will be pouring concrete, won't they, on top of these?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, that's so much weight. but not much per square inch, I guess. Square meter, sorry. Very good. Oh, I think that'll tidy up. Wow, check out the size of those things. There's a Portalooper scale. Whew, they're massive.
Didn't we have a name on those things? I feel like somebody knew what they were.
That's vertical. Alex is saying, go on.
Yeah, most of those are just columns for condensing. Some of them can be scrubbers. But that one is a condenser.
These ones are like basically heat exchangers, you know?
Yeah, they're reboilers.
And these vertical ones are more like sort of the other processes.
So those are probably scrubbing columns. You fill them with basically they're small ceramic balls or molecular sieves that will absorb small molecules like water and other things to carbon dioxide when you're cleaning up the gases.
I was talking about, you can do that, was what I was talking about the other night. You can do that with alcohol. Out of a fraction still, you can get 95% alcohol and put it and use some sort of bead. I thought it started with X, whatever it was, and that can bring it up to more like 100% or 99%.
You can, I mean, I have 100% ethanol here. I store over 4 angstrom molecular sieves, but yeah, I forget the name of the ceramic. It does, I think, begin with Z or X. I forget.
LA Long Beach is the mother of container ports.
Yeah. For the U.S., I think it's a third of all cargo for the U.S. comes through it or something ridiculous.
It's fairly Asian and like Australian stuff comes in, I guess, on that across the Pacific. Oh, they can run them down around Panama, can't they, too, to get up the west coast?
It's primarily most of the shipment comes from Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if those pieces are related to the top.
They are constructed like in similar sort of, it's been painted different. That's the only thing that sort of made me think otherwise. But yeah, they seem to be constructed of similar sort of manner. We eat fried chicken not because it's healthy, because it's good. Yeah. Yeah, we do. We do here too, don't worry. We love our KFC in Australia. And our Macca's. I don't personally. I don't eat it very much. I don't go to town enough to eat it very much.
It's a huge thing in Japan too, especially on Christmas.
Was it China? Their biggest thing on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve was something as KFC and not Chinese food. You'd think it'd be Chinese food, but I guess when you live in China, the last thing you want to eat is Chinese food. I've heard that.
Yeah, it's Japan. It is literally a Christmas tradition to go to KFC in Japan.
Oh, it's Japan. Of course. Yeah, Matt, you're very well versed in Japanese culture, aren't you?
Just a hair.
I believe in China they refer to it as food, not Chinese food. But
of course. There's no such thing as Chinese food in China, yeah. So we're sort of leaning towards some kind of new adapter plate for these new transport stands, perhaps with these plates, or maybe something more is going to get bolted onto them. I can't see why they need multiple holes. So maybe they're going to do something we haven't seen yet.
You go over towards the crane yard where those adapters are. I think one of them matches up with those holes. But yeah, I think those.
And they'd be better shot than that. Ah, right there, or even here.
Yeah. But yeah, those sit and span the width of SPMTs.
So I wonder if there is a set of these for each stand or just a set of these for each SPMT.
I think the latter.
I mustn't BJ say they use these for, where is that? It's for Sanchez. 1 second here, where's that? Hang on. This folder. The cryo stand has a similar thing on it.
Yes.
I can't, it's under there. No, I was thinking this. No, it's not that bit. It'll be under here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because the other stand that they haven't worked on has the old style with the registration pin, which is the long skidding ones on the left side by the.
The ones they currently use for the booster transport stands?
Yeah. And it looks like they're retrofitting the booster transport stands for the.
Yeah, they've done these two, but not the one. Oh, they've done that one and the one over near the gateway, but haven't done this one yet.
Right.
You can see the plate. I can't quite see it, but the plate's just there. And this one, he hasn't got it yet.
Yeah, I think the one by the gate. It's a little more obvious.
What makes their KFC so different, Matt?
Well, aside from having way more menu items and stuff, they actually operate a whole ton of them like sit-down restaurants versus a fast food joint.
You mean how it originally was?
Sort of, but they actually have servers and everything. So like a real restaurant.
Oh, wow.
I know before it was completely franchised, it started as like a food item that you could have on your menu at normal restaurants. Is how it was originally franchised. Back when they used a pressure cooker and all that stuff.
Yeah, even in Florida, there was one recently that still you can go in and eat from the buffet and stuff.
I wonder if this it's going to be like the system now is sort of semi-automated. You might say you can bring the SPC under, and then the little RAM closes, and that's it. You've got contact. I wonder if that system, if there was too much, like slop, too much sort of movement, maybe, because it's like a pin dropping into a slot and a RAM pin just coming through to connect them. I'd imagine there could be a little bit of movement. Maybe this new system's a bit more rigid or somehow more secure somehow. Be really interested to see this mechanism in operation because I've got a good idea of how the I don't know how you want to call it, the current this system works.
They might be using the actual stand as part of the bridge to connect the two SPMTs together.
Well, that's what they're doing already with these frames, as far as I know.
Right, but this is just a simplification because you'd have one of those four quadrant on the SPMTs instead of having to bolt a them together with SPMTs.
Yeah, this system you don't need to bolt the SPMTs together.
Thought they were.
The stand is the bridge. But what I was thinking, there may be a little bit of movement in here. You know, these don't need the bridges when they're on these. But maybe, like, see, there's that gap there, and whereas these new ones over here, it seems a lot more. Perhaps it's more rigid. I mean, maybe there was even a bit of slop going up and down, and maybe the booster's sort of rocking a little tiny bit on them. That wouldn't be a good day. I mean, it'd be something you'd want to probably get rid of, that sort of movement.
I think that gap is for alignment reasons, so you can sort of move it around rather than having to, and it'll find its center rather than precisely having to get them underneath it.
So we might not see these used at all in the future if that's what these are going to be for. So the new booster cry stand I was pretty sure the new booster cry stand has been using these already on SPMTs. And it's probably had this new system in place since it was built, perhaps.
Yeah, because the old car stand that they're refurbing or renovating, you can it clearly has the old style pin. The one at Massey's that they haven't done anything for months now, it feels like. Yeah, you can see the pin right there.
Yeah. Oh, so this stand was modified for those new SPMT. I didn't realize that. Those new SPMT, or what do you call them? No, the mid. It's getting hard to say new and old now because there's interim. But these ones, was that designed for? Had that been modified to use these?
Yeah, or it's always used them. Darts, did you track any of this stuff?
I was trying to remember. I'm pretty sure they've done some modifications over the years since that thing first showed up.
I'm sure I remember this being chained down to an SPMT originally, before they had these things, because these came along only when this first stand came along, which is why
what did the OG can crusher use?
They chained it.
Nice.
I'm not sure it's been modified either, actually.
That still looks like it's chain it down.
Especially since about all this stuff too. It's sort of, I don't think it can actually be moved. Maybe an SPMT can fit under here. It looks like that one's in the way. They have an SPMT getting under that side for now. Is this thing even bolted down to the ground? Probably not. Oh, do you think it has to be?
Nah. There's probably not a lot of dynamic, huge weight transfers since it's just the cylinders moving.
No, I mean, is this one got concrete too? I can't remember. This one had concrete under it as well. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's counterbalanced for its height.
Yeah.
Oh, what? 161 likes? Oh, go you lot.
We wouldn't mind a few more either, though.
Oh, you're just getting greedy now.
Wink, wink, hint, hint. Know what I mean?
So I guess the big news for the extension of the SQD is that it's actually been lifted now.
Yeah, you can see the created slack there, so it is definitely connected.
I would imagine it would have been pretty quick to connect just a few pins, I guess, to drop in those linkages and what have you on at this end. So it doesn't look like it, but it's angling towards us a lot here.
Remember what happened when they put the first one up? They had to cut pieces and weld pieces and make it jerry rig it in the first time.
Yeah, this went way too smoothly.
It's kind of like they knew what they were doing this time.
Yeah, Pad 1 was very much prototyping so many things. Like there's over 1,000 things that are prototyped that we've seen on the new launch site that have just been significantly improved and streamlined. Also noticed in Sean's photos, I should bring one up, of actually I can do that. I've got his permission to do that. One sec. Hang on.
That arm just looks so pretty for now.
So this shot from Sean Geisler, you can actually see the extensions. So now I've put his watermark up. I can show you the other image. So this is once again Sean's stuff. Probably shouldn't show his Dropbox address. I'm not sure about that. So you can see the new static pads they put on. Gee, they're a bit bigger.
Yeah, that's what I was commenting on earlier when we were at Massey's set.
Yeah, you can see the rail is actually up, but it's just going to be a separate stationary piece on the ends.
So I just had to contain the doggies. We've got a visitor and they like to say hello, 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 like over and over. There you go, 180 likes almost, cool. So yeah, thanks to Sean for that. Actually, Sean's got quite a few good images of things like the new tri-event up there on the tower, which is different. Not sure why they need tri-events.
They got the obligatory testing tape up there too.
Oh, that's to stop the grackles from making nests, yeah.
And to know each one's working when it all flies off.
Oh, that wasn't his. That's not his address anyway. This is my address for this. That is. Hang on, no, for this Gozo. This Gozo site, I find it very handy for when I'm doing stuff. Capture a quick image, and then I can use that image for like in documents or what have you. It's just an easy way to get a good screenshot. So yeah, some good photos coming out of that. So you could follow Sean Geisel is really worthwhile following over on X. This is stuff I do with RGV production when I'm doing reference images for the editor, for the video editor. I'll just make an image like this, and I can just highlight things that need to be highlighted in the script for him, because we try to make the job for the video editor a whole lot easier.
Are you sure
Anyhow,
you're sharing that UID and the URL?
URL you can, that's fine. That's not Sean's URL. That's my URL for the Gayazo app. What I do like to make sure is that I show his watermark. Yeah, this is not anything to do with Sean's private site. His Dropbox. His Dropbox. I do have his Dropbox, but I'm not going to share that address. This was on the 6th, I think, of January, 5th or 6th of January. So
the door on the left in the center has the part of the linkage, the one right to the left of that one. Yeah, that's one of the links. The one that connects to the actual clamp arm into the door.
Oh, there's a photo circulating somewhere. I think it's from What About It's photographer of one of these doors actually installed in here too, which is good to see.
Yep, the opposite side.
Yep, so that's a bit of crow I can not have to eat now, which I thought I was eating before. And this is fairly low res too. Sean's actual images are far higher res than this. This is just a screen capture, just to make sure I got his watermark and just to show that the doors are here. It's not really, I can't zoom in very far and get fine details. Anyhow, that's Sean. Sean's awesome for allowing me to see, look at those images and share them. All he really wants me to do is make sure that his watermark gets seen. So that was a lead into the actual SQD arm way over there before, a minute ago. Extension, sorry. I'm not sure it's sidetracked there. So this thing's, mounted, and they open these up when they moved. As far as I know, when they were transporting, they were opened up.
No, they're in the close. This is a open position.
Oh, hang on. What was that about?
Oh, it's a road.
Okay, yeah, that's what. That's exactly what. What's his name was? What's their name?
Capsacks.
Yeah, them. That's exactly what they quoted, I think.
Yeah, because there adds a 3-lane roadway. That's current.
And a bike path. Cool. Those are always good. Wow, that takes a bit of detective work to actually find that document, I would imagine. Cool, thanks for that. All those sort of things are handy for us in this particular show. Okay. Thanks, Kiwi. I'll get to that when I get to the launch. So what's Alex after? Okay, nice. I better be careful I do that. DMs are a funny place. I'm just saving an image. Hang on. One second. Okay, which folder is that in? Just another image of some steel construction. That's not it. Oh, here it is.
One of their small jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of steel. Wow, that's a lot of steel. Holy hell. Yeah, so as I keep saying, things we see at Starbase are very much industries and technologies are well established in many other industries. There's another notice. Oh, is this the same notice? Oh, no, it's different. Oh, it's the same thing. I think you found the same
Yeah,
thing
it's the
for me.
same one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. Oh, cool. BJ's finished some script writing for us. Awesome. Okay, so that's that. Sanchez. On that arm, that's a lot of talk on that arm. Where we think you're talking about. Oh, so I've shut it down. Hang on. I think we've known that before. The amount of distance, I think, on the arm itself from between the tower all the way out to the, I suppose I can just use launch site photos for that. It might be easier, actually. Launch site. This photo will do. Yeah, a lot of talk between that end of the arm and that end of the arm. There's, yeah, quite a lot of load on these hinges here. There's a fair distance, so it sort of multiplies back to not too bad. The sticks too, especially these old ones, especially with the booster sitting on it. There must be a massive amount of weight sort of in here too once you multiply it out in the torque. Now, Sanchez. So around the this area, we sort of every now and again have a bit of a look around here. Just for something that is while we're here. Those things still haven't been used. Still haven't found somewhere to fit them, to be honest. Oh, are they open? Is that maybe to be welded somewhere, that open spot? It's a weird design. I'm sure someone knows what all these different bits and pieces are. Seems to be like a lot of stuff.
Fluxos.
Oh, here we are. We're having a meeting.
Not a creative Fluxos.
Yeah, maybe for pumping water. This area here seems to have a high turnover of stuff. As opposed to down here where stuff seems to be stored for years on end. So we did see some of the linkage stuff down in this area a while ago. It was sitting on here, wasn't it? It seems to have all gone now. Maybe it was all a parts of the linkages. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
All
sitting up there on those two. That what's right above it, they were sitting on both those.
Is that having a couple of spares down there, perhaps?
No, those are much longer.
Okay.
And what about
I mean,
right
so
where your
boom,
hand is? Are those like spare water cooling plates down there or something?
There's the old burn plates for pad scrap.
Oh, hi, Sharpie. You didn't get notified. Sorry about that. Is there something? Just in chat, did most people get notified about the stream through YouTube? But that's a pity, Sharpie. Sorry you didn't get to see a notification.
I know my notification showed up.
Same.
Oh, same. Yeah, mine did too. Yeah. Cool.
Start all over. Sharpie's here.
You got this,
Awesome.
Todd.
Yeah. And we did see those like boomerangs down in this area, I think.
They're scattered all over here. This is one of those magical. How does our inventory system work? Locations.
There's still new things, but look at it here, scattered here and there, everywhere.
Looks like
I'm
we're
sure
at
some. Sorry, Lawrence.
I was just jumping in for those curious. It looks like Test Tank 17 is being tested again.
Over on Rocket Ranch video.
Yes.
That's a super crusher.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And while we're off track a little bit, on X, Jordan Guidry published a picture of a new something or other. It came in on a flatbed.
The fourth flight for the static fire stand.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
That's a great
Starship
shot.
Gazer. Yeah, and he's published it too. Awesome. So we can look at it. Awesome. Yeah, make sure you give Stargazer a follow. I haven't even looked at X today. I usually look at X to for inspiration for the talk today, but I didn't look at it yet.
According to him, it happened a year ago.
Oh, what happened?
Look at the date.
Hey,
Ah,
who amongst us isn't guilty of that?
It's the first of the year. I understand.
oh, it does swing back this way, but it swings.
Yeah.
But the way it's designed, it swings back off the ship a little bit first, sort of.
It's a pivot. When it's against the ship, it's at its maximum because its pivot point is from the center back.
And the platform, when both are together, it has kind of a V in it, so it kind of conforms to the roundness.
Which matches when it's closed, the profile of the flat platform.
Yeah, in here, Lawrence.
Yeah. But the pivot point is right there.
Way back here.
Yeah. So when it rotates, there's no way it would hit the vehicle when it rotates back.
That's what you were trying to say in the show and tell. I couldn't quite get it.
Yeah.
So through the show and tell, I'm up doing other things as well, keeping the show and tell running. So sometimes I miss things in the show and tell. Cool. Now, sorry, just jumping all over the place here. Who was that that said that?
Jordan? Fire the leg.
The fourth one for the second static fire stand.
Yeah, okay, cool, yeah. Oh, that's the quick disconnect rolling. Yeah, cool. Oh, nice, Travis. Nice photo. Oh, that's a really good photo too. Gee, it looks so much more tidy. Far out. That looks awesome.
And
Oh, what? No
beefy.
claw. Oh. Is that another ladder?
That's scaffolding.
Oh, it is too. Thank you.
You can't leave a structure alone at Starbase, because the scaffolding crew will just cover it.
Hey, we can do a Sesame Street thing here. Under, over, under, over.
You
I'm
lost
sorry.
the over. Oh wait.
Okay, thanks for the X update there. Was that Alaska, was it? Thank you. Sharpie, yeah, vastly improved. Absolutely. Everything's vastly improved. But I don't know, like we've said for a while, the Pad A was really basic, almost like proof of concept, you might say, rather than anything else. And now what we're seeing is iteration on top of that, actual prototyping now, and actual, maybe not even full production vehicles yet, but at least very much more advanced in the prototyping system. Whereas all Pad A stuff was sort of jerry rigged together just to get the proof of concept, and the flights they did out of it was awesome. It's pretty obvious the whole system works, and they're obviously got the go ahead to go into sort of more production mode. Same like even with the actual vehicle designs, such an improvement. I guess that's pretty well wrapped up, Sam. I suppose that's ship crashed down. It's interesting how they're completely revamping it. But they're changing its whole structure. They're taking these. I thought there was more steel underneath, but by the looks of these temporary braces, there's definitely not. So for some reason, they're probably taking these supports out that supported the ring and supporting the ring here. I guess, was it Hanson suggested maybe it's towards the 6 Raptor, the 9 Raptor, the 9 engine configuration maybe? I don't know. Maybe just like they've got the 1 RAM out and they're actually calibrating it over there at Massey's. It's sitting down on the ground down here somewhere. That one will do it. It's sitting down here. So there's something with version 3, they're changing. So it was good enough to test the 39.1. Now 39.1 went back into the factory, didn't it, too?
I don't think they're testing the RVACs with it.
Aren't these for testing the RVAC engine mounts?
Right, but I don't think they're testing it on that test article. I think they're only testing the center.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry. Yep. Gotcha. Yep. So interesting to keep an eye on that over the next few weeks to see how that gets revamped. I mean, it was only just recently revamped with these rams and those little rockets down the bottom. So once again, as we've seen with a few stands now around Starbase, they get chopped and changed every now and again. Okay, that should do Sanchez. I think. So any questions about surrounding areas I haven't sort of picked up, I'm welcome to try and answer. But for now, we'll just continue through a bit more detail on all the sites. I don't know, chat. I kind of, I do worry about just being another show and tell, just another live stream and just being repeating, but I don't know, maybe I'm also getting a feeling that we're going into sort of more detail into little different areas. So if you're happy to keep going with these every week, we're more than happy to keep making these shows. I do enjoy them. So, and I think we're getting good feedback. So I know we'll continue to do them, but maybe we can have some ideas of other things to add to the streams. Now, is that down there? Is that one of these here? Is it?
Yeah, it's one of the centerpiece. Not what? Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, we currently have a poll up in the chat right now with 225 votes asking people if they're enjoying the new show. And we are at 94% say yes.
Oh, awesome.
I like
Go.
It gives us a chance to like look at things and then, look at the little things. And then when it comes back up later, it's like, yeah, now we notice that. And somebody else notices something that points it out. I like that part of it.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we go a lot more in depth with this one for sure.
And a lot more people can speak up and share.
That too.
Oh, well, there's heaps more in Discord now. Cool. Indy and others.
Hi, sorry, I'm a little late.
Ah, yeah, right. You still sound like you're struggling with a bug as well. With who else is there? Matt
this
and
one is-
Alex.
The worst ever in my entire life. I've never experienced anything like this before in my life.
I hope you feel better, Indy.
Well, this is me feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, I get to listen to you guys, so that's always amazing.
So the cranes have climbed again. They're up to their level for the third layer of these columns. Man, it's already getting so tall. And I think it's only, well, sort of halfway, I guess. Not quite halfway yet in height. Where's all the buckets of bolts? There they are. Are they buckets of bolts? Man, there's got to be a lot of bolts in this frame.
Isn't that another thing that BJ's counting?
I don't think he's quite that good.
That is funny.
It's funny because it's probably true.
BJ is counting the nuts. Vix is counting the bolts. Together we should get it up.
Right.
And if we say his name 3 times, does he arrive?
Do we have to say it consecutively?
It is BJ for Beetlejuice, right?
Oh, very nice.
And it is BJ's baby we're looking at.
I told you I'd use that in the live stream.
He did say on Sunday that he is doing some spreadsheets and stuff, so he's definitely watching closely.
Be careful what you wish for, guys.
Has he arrived?
Yeah, because it just might come true. That's happened so many times in my life, in a good way, in a very good, positive way.
Well, extend the talk another hour.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, some of us did get here just now, so feel free.
Do it for Indy.
Oh, we've gone past 2 hours already. Wow. All right. I did curse myself at the start, saying I don't know what we're going to talk about. Next thing, 2 hours have gone past.
I was going to say, are you serious? That's half the fun is talking and learning and learning. And you guys explaining ideas and thoughts.
Absolutely.
That is literally the fun.
It's kind of weird. It's a structured show is sort of less stressful in one way, but then this open format you would think would be a bit more stressful, but it gives a lot of freedom. So it takes. I'm not saying there's massive amounts of stress. I do really enjoy what we're doing, but sometimes I concern myself a bit as to what to talk about. Still good fun.
I think
still enjoy it.
the good thing is that we have lots of knowledgeable people in this community who all have really good opinions, and a lot of times they're different or they have different ways of coming to similar conclusions. So it's always really, especially for me who knows like zero about construction in general, it's always fun for me because I get to learn a lot, I get to hear a lot, I get to know a lot of people just by listening to them, and then I get to weigh what makes sense to me and come up with my own theories, and I actually like that a lot. Often I'm wrong, but that's okay because again, that's half the fun.
Andy, that just makes you one of us.
That's right.
I'm the epitome of us.
You're part of the Crow crew.
While you're on that picture, look at the bridge from the left to the right and notice in the center on the top. Yeah, that whole structure, those 2 floors, right? Those 2 levels. Look at the top of the column. Those center columns don't go up. Is there going to be a big hole there?
Ah.
How do they not go up? How is that middle truss sitting then?
Well, meaning it doesn't appear they're going to build anything on top of that. It's
I
just
see.
a bridge.
It doesn't have these tops on it. You're right. It doesn't have those tops.
So that would easier to remove later if they want to open that, because right now that just has the what would that be, the lintel for the door, the double one.
Big lintel.
Yeah.
Yes.
They probably have a conference room above it, and so that's why you have large windows and things like that. They probably have 2 conference room above in the structure that's above the door.
Well, I imagine they're going to probably remove that eventually once they decide to finally knock down the first high bay and get it going. Yeah.
That is definitely not how they're doing it at Roberts Road. Well, and they have that plate right there on the outside.
That was a good spot there. Who was that? Alaska, was it? Well done.
No, that's PK.
That was me.
Oh, PK, yeah. Of course, yeah.
Great spot. What is it?
That just looks like a
but
stiffener. That doesn't look like it's it's just a stiffener. I don't think it's a flange for a moment connection.
Yeah.
Let me see. So all this wall paneling. So what's the biggest span for wall paneling? Sort of that sort of span. Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, now that looks like that whole block could easily be, if they're not continuing, or if they're just going to have it lightly framed for cladding.
Up in here, yeah.
Or
like this sort of framing, sort of.
Yeah.
Where it won't actually need a column below it. So maybe PKM more of this sort of framing to go above, just to put some cladding on, perhaps.
Could be.
Yeah, but no, I think PK is right that it's going to be very lightly framed the rest of the way in that section.
Hang on, see also, oh no, these ones have got the outward gussets. I was sort of seeing how these have the gussets like this, where they put steel on, but down here it doesn't. Looks like it actually could easily be unbolted to leave this column flush too, as opposed to this sort of construction. So maybe they are making them removable. See, even here, there's a plate in here, but not in. Yeah, not in here. There's not a plate here.
Yeah, it's doubled up, so like the adjacent, they could slip a plate in the gap. But
So that could indicate, in fact, that
Are they C channels on the top versus wide flanges? They almost look like they're C channels.
I think it is. C's.
So that's a lighter construction than everywhere else. Yeah, maybe not.
These are I-beams, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a wide flange beam. But if you look at the upper ones, you see the dark line that runs down the middle. That's indicative of two C channels bolted back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, which is it is there too. Hang on.
Yeah, maybe not.
But not in the interior. I guess even those are.
Seems the horizontals are that what you're saying, Phil, and the diagonals are I-beams.
H-beams.
H-beam, I-beam, is there a difference?
Yes. Flange construction.
Or WF's wide flange.
Yeah.
No, that's all outside my pay grade. This angle show. Oh, so here's a couple of the wrapped up. Sorry, just going on what we saw at McGregor's yesterday. There's a couple of the RBAC trailers still here. So I think over the last few weeks, I'm wondering whether there was a third one here, and they have in fact taken one over to McGregor.
Those two have been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I had a question. So in the current Gigabay, do they have as many access floors as they're having in this new, in the current Megabay? Or do they have as many access floors as they have in this Gigabay?
Access floors. Well, they haven't got any of the platforms in here yet. We're not sure how many platforms they're going to have in here. I guess it'll depend on what station's set up for what. I imagine the ship one, they'll have like Megabay 2, lots and lots of platforms, which we haven't seen yet. Down the bottom here, there was this photo might show it. Down the bottom here, they've got extra flooring in between in this level, but nowhere else, which is kind of weird. And as far as bays go, I think what you'll find is this level is the same height as the top of the workstations in Megabay 1. So there'll be that, false floor through here, like you see in Megabay 1, next to the workstations. And then up here, we're probably going to see those, half circle shaped platforms up in here. And maybe with these new tabs on here, maybe, wherever they were, maybe we'll see some kind of platform that can somehow come around the front here. Let me just jump back to another photo.
Do you think they'll have viewing floors where they could take like investors or people of that nature around Gigabay and show them what they're doing?
That's what the front section next to the factory looks like it might be.
I mean, that would make sense. You don't think they'd have one in Gigabay?
No, in Gigabay. That
closest to the high bay side, you're saying?
To the factory side in Highway 4. That one is probably going to be where they would, because it gives them the ability that you can see the broad area, but not actually into the individual bays. It's very similar to what they have on the balconies on the factory, in the factory for the office. It's, you want to show, but you don't want people to see the actual intricacies.
Oh, well,
You
That's
don't want to
me.
see them banging the stainless steel with a sledgehammer to make it fit.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a restaurant where all the cooks are behind closed doors. You don't want to see how the sauce is made.
I don't know about all of that because at Rocket Lab, when you came into the manufacturing floor, you could see everything. You could go in every room except for like the clean rooms, unless you had the garb and everything and permission, of course. But on the main floor, you could go in. Every room had windows and things like that you could see into. You could see what they were doing. So why wouldn't, if you have enough clearance to come onto that floor to see that, why would you hide it? Like why would you hide
I
it?
mean, because if you're just showing it to a general investor, we used to do this all in post where you'd have when you'd have directors and stuff come through, you'd always have garbage on your screen. Nothing that was, especially if you're working on multiple projects, you want. So it's just to show the
screens. I understand what you're saying. I fully understand what you're saying.
It's
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, it's actually even worse than somebody's workstation, because for that you're just seeing a vignette of something. You're seeing everything, and
yeah, that's how it is at Rocket Lab, at least.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, must be.
Well, Rocket Lab that's all carbon fiber, right?
Most of it, yeah.
So there's not a lot of hammering stuff going on like there is here, noise-wise and what have you.
I mean, they don't build the actual long tubular part in the U.S. yet. So actually, that's what the Maryland place is for. So maybe if you went to the Maryland factory, there would be, but not in the Long Beach version.
Where's the Maryland factory?
They have a new factory out there they bought a while back. I think it's been over a year now, about a year.
Yeah, Middle River.
Yep.
That's not too far from me.
Yeah, just a different, like you said, different strokes for different folks, and then different factories.
Yeah, the Middle River facility is their Neutron.
This staff event dudes put a bunch of stuff up in Patreon Lounge if you want to take a look.
Yeah, I see that.
And it was always the same, Indy, on set when you'd bring people through. It was very much controlled where you'd allow and what you'd allow people to see, at least in.
Again, I don't doubt all of that. I agree with that, but I feel like if they're able to get the clearance to come into the manufacturing building, then as long as it's not ITAR stuff, which most of the ITAR stuff is not visible for everybody to see, even like employees, I wouldn't see a problem. But perhaps, like you guys say, they don't want people to see the banging and whatnot.
You don't want them to see how the sausage is being made. It generally might open up lots of a line of questionings that you really don't want to share.
They already know how the sausage is made, though. Those that are coming through.
I mean, like in post, when we'd have the actual director of the spot or the movie, you would think that we wouldn't let them to see.
But I think a movie is a little bit different than a rocket.
Well, and sometimes you don't want to open yourself up to too many unnecessary and unneeded questions at the same time, too.
Totally agree with that. But that's why you have to have like the proper documents and clearance to even come onto the manufacturing. Like they don't just let anybody willy-nilly.
Well, but so for example, in like a mechanic shop, okay, when we bring a customer out into the shop, everybody stops working. Because the more things that are being done, the more questions are going to be asked. We want them in and out and on their way. That's basically what they're trying to do. In, out, on to the next.
I guess I just have a different thinking. Because I don't necessarily agree with that. That's all.
Yeah, it's a dog and pony show, even with investors. You want to awe them, but you don't want them to. You don't want to sit. It's even like with Elon talking when he's doing his walkthroughs with everyday astronaut. He very much keeps it along, and we're not talking about that. So it's the same concept.
I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with the concept. I just don't necessarily think that it makes sense in this environment because you have to have the clearance to be able to come onto the manufacturing floor. And yes, there are different types of. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I just have a different opinion.
All right, cool. Thanks, Cindy. That's a good question. That was a good little conversation. Just addressing another question, Sharp. Is it possible to deduce what role each bay does by looking at the floors? So not
Not
at
yet.
this, not just yet. Like there is those sort of extra floors down there, but that's just a big fat mystery. We kind of got an idea on this side for stacking because they've left these doors, these openings for these bays. It's about as far as we've gone really with specialisation for each bay. We haven't really gone much further past that, to be honest.
I'm wondering if they're going to wait a while to put the big doors in, kind of like they did on the mega bays, or if they're just going to bang them in real quick and we won't get to see anything.
The external door. Sorry, Lawrence.
I was just going to say, I honestly think they're going to put them in during the construction process, even before the sighting this time around.
Not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I don't even know whether there's going to be doors. Maybe I'm not sure there's even going to be doors on this side. There may be, but I don't know that they're necessary if they attach.
Yeah, but we won't see on this
factory.
side. I mean, in the front.
Yeah, I think the highway side doors are going to go in early.
Well, they can't go in until they get to height, obviously. I mean, they could put these ones in maybe. These might be an indicator. Maybe not an indicator. I don't know. I think that's a 6 to 1 half a dozen. The other thing, I personally think they'll wait till later. But anywho.
I hope they do. I'd like to be able to see some of the bays going together, before they start closing it up completely.
Well, until I put a roof on, we're always going to have a look inside from the air. But maybe even once the cladding's starting to go on in the roof, we may still not see what's going on inside the bay. Even once they may put the roof on first still. It's sort of be advantageous to get the roof and cladding on sort of ASAP. I'd say once the cladding's gone, because the building itself's going to go up, get clad, everything finished, I think then the crew's going to come in and fit it all out perhaps. Put all the stands in, put all the platforms in and put all there's so much stuff to go in here afterwards to fit off all the electrical, all the gases, all the mechanicals. It's going to be a ton of work after they finish just the basic construction.
Yeah, I mean, how many bays do they have in each mega bay? What, like 5? And we've got 12 on each side. It might take a while.
Yeah, 3 workstations and 2 turntables right here. We've got many more. 18 and 6. Okay, I'll just address this stuff from event. Dude, good on him. I think we can show there's all the Patreon guys. That's who's in Patreon right now. So, this is some stuff. I guess you can pause this and have a quick look at this. Oh, that's all.
Not bad for 24 acres.
Okay, all they say. Official docs regarding the Sanchez oil site, and as stated in the docs says thereafter Dogleg Park and SOG entered into a purchase agreement for the sale of 24 acres Okay, that's all Chinese to me. Well, that didn't work. What are these? These PDFs, sorry. Why didn't they come up? Oh, here's one.
They're all PDFs. You have to download them and then pick them up.
Yeah, okay. I might leave that just for now. We could probably do a whole show on those sort of things. That was a sale for Sanchez. Oh, is that for the whole of Sanchez? Actually, the whole site? Because it's only leased, is that right? So they don't actually own Sanchez, is that what's going on?
I believe so.
Gee, I hope they don't want it back as is when they started using the site.
Tenant improvements. You have to clear everything you're doing with the landlord.
Sure, yeah.
And leave it when you leave.
That too.
Do you have to leave it as is?
Yep.
Or can you like tear it down?
Nope.
No, yeah, as is.
Yeah, also Sharpie, yeah, they've been putting portaloos up on the higher. Yeah, just don't lean back too far. Just don't fall over backwards there, I guess. What's that first step?
So
Talk about a long drop.
Event Dude says it's leased currently because of the lawsuit, but that was the sale contract for it.
Oh, cool. Good on you, Event Dudes. Do you know what a long drop toilet is when you dig a hole in the ground? Put a toilet on top? Sure, it's an international thing, not just an Australian thing. I grew up on a long drop toilet.
We call it outhouses. A long drop is way funnier.
They're like that on trains in India.
Yeah.
They have that on trains in South America as well.
Sorry, I digress. Okay, any more poo jokes?
In the 60s, they had them in the USA. Ask me how I know.
The 1960s, PK?
Yeah. There's some
Are they
towns in mid-America that we left deposits around.
My home in Japan still has an outdoor toilet that is like that, just a huge hole in the ground with a toilet built over top of it. Turns 420 years old in March.
Wow. Holy
Happy
crap. I mean,
birthday?
holy poo.
Yes, but have you ever seen a tandem? Side by side?
Nope.
My grandparents' house had it.
Corn cobs. Okay, let's leave that. Okay.
You want to have Lou talk?
So we're talking about rockets. What the hell?
Poo time with RGV.
I mean, methane.
Yeah, sure.
Comes more from burping, remember?
Well, for cows, yeah, except it's probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a burp or it's? I think it's a different thing in cows when they chew their cud and release.
That's fermentation.
So that's a ship wing, you said?
Oh, yeah, a flap. Yeah, a flap for a ship. And it's got these new little tiles on the trailing edge. It's not the leading edge at all. It's the trailing edge. That'll be the leading edge. So, unlike a wing, an aileron also has a leading edge and trailing edge, even though the leading edge is tucked in behind the wing. So still an aileron has a trailing edge and a leading edge. And this will be the trailing edge.
I thought it was
So
related
nice.
to the airflow across the said surfaces for the leading and trailing edge.
Oh, that too, and the airflow does come off this side of the wing when it's sort of half deployed when it's flying.
But since this is the leading edge, would be the sections that's first hitting the airflow. No,
When it's in its horizontal, falling down horizontally, air would hit here first. If this flap was up on a slight angle, air would hit down the bottom and run that way across the flap.
It's the motion is vertical, is top to bottom. Is that? Yeah, the airflow would hit that edge first. Not being completely pedantic, but I am.
In pure horizontal flight, the air's coming from straight up underneath, except the other way around. This flap obviously is upside down. That's what air hits that. And if it's slightly, where's the circle? There's a circle. If the flaps are at like 45 degrees, the air's flowing across that way.
It's never falling dead. There's a vertical component on it. It's not falling dead to flat. I'm being very pedantic, but
Oh, nose down. Yeah, okay, nose down. Yeah.
or no, even nose up. For the
Nose
airflow,
up and entry.
the primary airflow will be coming front to back. Even it should never be just the primary vector shouldn't be pointing straight up. And yes, I'm being very pedantic. Yeah, very.
Well, I'm still
Some of
calling
us
this a trailing
appreciate-
edge.
As if you'd ever be pedantic, Alex.
Huh? I missed that, Jake. It probably was hilarious.
Very good. Okay, so that's control surfaces. Moggy's just saying hello to you all. G'day, Moggy. Captain Morgan. So I don't know, not much going on here. We see that thing they scrapped in the scrapyard. Looks like this thing. I sort of covered that in the show and tell, I guess. Let's move over to the. There's not much. Let's go over to the build site. So this photo here. So going back to stations and that. So I expected to look sort of similar to this in the new Gigabay. For booster stations. Ship stations seem to have a lot more platforms for tile work in between. So we should be able to tell Sharpie whether they're booster stations or ship stations by how many platforms there are. And this whole, actually came here to look at this whole front platform. See, this is only really used for when they're joining the two tanks together, I would imagine. After it's joined together, I wouldn't imagine this platform's really needed, but on other levels they may need some kind of platform that like comes around the front on some of them, on some of the levels, maybe this level because of the grid fins or something. There's not a lot goes on in a ship and a booster, sorry, where they're joined, everything's sort of already installed, I guess, ready to join together when they join the tanks together just at one spot.
I just realised how much more sophisticated the I don't know if you could really call that scaffolding compared to the old boosters where it was literally just scaffolding attached to the side of the boosters. It's more, I don't know how you describe that.
Purpose built?
Yeah.
I miss a plank, so.
Yeah, these look like they literally drop into the stringers, don't they? And Jake, these are individual pieces, but look, we can see they're broken here at the tops and at the bottoms here. So they just stack them up over here somewhere when they're not using them, and then sort of here somewhere, and then bring them out when they want to, and just put them in, just literally lift them in one by one, I'd say.
Well, of course, with the older boosters, there was Plus, no work platform on that level. It was literally just the scaffolding and nothing else.
Still a little bit of scaffolding going on, I guess, but seems like a fairly busy area just here, doesn't it? Like in, oh, is that a chine? Is that a chine right there? Is that where a chine is?
Where
No,
are you
it's just
pointing, Steph?
Sure looks
oh,
like
just
it.
in there.
No, that's the raceway.
Just the raceway, yeah. This looks very busy. Look at a lot of plumbing in that particular area.
Yeah, it's right next to the autogenous line there. The chines don't go that high, don't forget, Steph. You're going
Oh,
past
cool.
the common, don't they?
If you look
Yeah,
lower, you see the COPVs. That's
yeah,
the
sorry,
chines.
yeah. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I did know that. I mean, so that'll maybe have a bit of a cover on that section of the autogen lines. Perhaps. Anyhow, we'll have to look at that later on. This is
Well,
a sort of
hopefully, hopefully all of that stuff is covered now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they got to that point.
Yeah, isn't that small section between that on 18 was covered, where the raceway just dipped back into the tanks?
Yep.
From what I remember, that's actually pretty close to the bottom of the raceway because the raceway doesn't go all the way to the bottoms of the V3 boosters.
Right.
At
It's
least
only around
not externally.
Yeah, it's only around the common dome and where the FTS is.
And for those of you on YouTube who are hearing all of the different voices that they don't normally hear on Starbase Weekly and stuff, this is one of the perks that you get by being a Patreon member. So be sure to go over to Patreon and sign up, and then join us over on Discord, and you can be part of the show too.
I don't have a picture of Booster 18 handy right now. Cool. Okay, so that's not such a mystery after all. Okay, launch site. I quite often get asked, how does an air separation unit work? And discussing with Alex last night at quite in detail, there's literally an extremely simple answer, and then once you start going past that extremely simple answer, it starts getting fairly technical fairly quickly. Now I've got a photo here somewhere. I'm going to lose it, aren't I?
You just passed it. Keep going back. There you go.
There it is. So the simple, that'd be Cash, Johnny Cash, pure Kelpie. He's a good-looking dub. Shush. We're going to get Cash's explanation of an ASU. Stop it. All right, just deal with him. So yeah, so we see the compressor. We see that with the big engines, and then away it goes, and then it's pre-cooled, and then yes, some impurities are removed, then some magic happens, and then it gets separated, and then some more magic happens, and you end up with the different commodities out of the tower. And there's things in here that don't explain, like reflux and other little processes, and eventually you get, why is there gas as well here? Oh, liquid gases, yeah. So you can get gas as well as liquid. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah. I'm not going into any details because apparently it's too complicated. So just stick with magic happens.
How did I get
In the reflux process?
Again, that's part of the magic happening where apparently I get too technical and I'll use words that are specific to industries.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, hard pass.
All
It's
right.
a sore point because usually when I do, I get interrupted, and I don't enjoy that.
All right, we'll leave that for now. But anyway, that's a very simplified version of what's going on. There's plenty of documents online. One day we may script something or something. Okay, so getting onto here, I do have, so where's Kiwi? Let me just get an image up of Kiwi here. Sorry, I didn't save it earlier. One second. Okay, we'll go back to that image. Oh, that's the newer image, yeah. So this is a bit of an idea of how these linkages work at the on the clamp arms. That's the newer image. Sorry, Kiwi, that's the newer one. So we've seen this L linkage just recently. We've seen a couple of times now. We saw one getting lifted. I think on Lab Padro camera's got a good image of that linkage, and it hooks onto what's going on here. It hooks onto the boomerang linkage, which is attached to the launch mount. So that's one of the linkage sets, and then the second linkage set also attaches to the launch mount back here. And this is all actuated by the single actuator. So as this arm comes back, it pulls the all this linkage with it. Oh, not that one, that's an older one. So there's an attachment point here on the clamp arms. So as this clamp arm comes back, that keeps the distance here, so that can clear the end of the cocky beak here. And as that part goes back through here, it brings the door shut basically, and these other linkages keep it all nice and vertical once it's shut. So thank you, Kiwi, for that. A lot of that linkage we can already see is in place here. Here's that upside down L linkage. There's the upside down L linkage and the boomerang part.
Do
And we can just
know yet? Sorry, Steph, go ahead.
No, you're right.
I said, do we know where those little square plates are going yet? Where in the OLM they're going?
What square plates?
The one on top of the. If you go to the right, Stephanie, they're on top of the deck. No, go up there. Loads of those little ones laying around.
Hang on. Not that image, hang on. Oh, maybe I was on the better image.
I remember loads sitting on the ground next to the OLM as well. On the superstructure side, I think.
I can't find out on one of our images too. We can see this linkage. That one I can see it. That linkage going into the slot beside the arms. There was a really good image. I can't remember which one it is. We could actually see the linkage too. See, I swear I've seen that linkage popping out these every now and again. You'll see one popping out of these slots.
It was from 2 weeks, 2 flyovers ago that you could see it, or 1 flyover ago.
In that picture right there, those squares are different. There's 3 different types of squares or 4 different types of squares.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah. Oh, Jake, were they sitting down? Where were they? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Massive, sorry.
You had a,
They were in that
photo,
area.
yeah, you had a photo up just now, I think, that was showing them on the ground there.
This is from down here.
Yeah, there they are. Loads of them, look.
Yeah, this is last week's. Oh, that's what you're talking about, all the mini holes to try and get the alignment right, yeah? Sheesh, lots of holes. So this is this is 2 flyovers ago. I've got to find the right angle now.
None of the top downs, you'll see it. It'll be hidden by the door. You have to have one of the further away angled shots.
Clark's trying to get a little tiny bit closer. Oh, there you can see it going in the side anyway. So since this is what's this one? This is the 19th of December. So we've done quite a lot of work since then. Anyhow, I'll leave that for now. So yeah, once again, Kiwi always says he's not 100% sure on the exact measurements on these things, but what these images he does for us as a community is gives us a really good understanding of sort of pretty closely how things are going to look once they're finished. This image is a little bit tricky because it's a yellow piece only attached to the magenta piece here, and the blue piece only attached to the boomerang here, which I think shows up better in that end shot, in this shot. So those are attached to each other and separate, and these two are attached to each other. And it's, yeah, a rather elegant design. It's not too much to go wrong. Sort of one thing that I was sort of concerned, it's a lot of extra things to sort of fail, but when looking at that image here, it's actually fairly simple linkages. Not much really should go wrong with that. It's pretty simple stuff.
So in the
these
image, which is the piece that Jake was referring to, that he was asking where those pieces go?
It's not in here, so we don't know yet.
Ah.
They're sitting over here. I'm not sure. We're not sure where they go yet. They may even have something to do with down. I don't know. Got no idea where they go. They look like inspection plates. Remember? Good on you, knucklehead. It's been going 3 hours. Far out. All right. That was so.
Yeah, I will say that every single one of these episodes so far, you're like, I don't know if we have enough stuff to talk about.
Yeah, fair enough. So we did see these being actually put in place now. And yeah, it does look like just some kind of buffer zone to let the ship or booster, I guess, come in here while it's still sort of translating this way. Should it get hit by, should the arms touch the ship before it finishes translating this way? So I can land right here. Just gives them a bit of room.
You watch, like, a few years from now, the entire chopsticks will just be covered in bumpers.
Case for coming from this way or that.
It'll be like bubble wrap all over them.
Side impact airbags.
All right, so that's sort of the main thing that's going on with Pad A at the moment, Pad B at the moment. I guess the QD arm getting put in, we saw that earlier. I sort of talked about that earlier, the QD arm extension. Those things. So, considering where Booster 19's up to and not cryo, not had engines or anything, I still think, I sort of thought this might have been slipping behind a bit, but it sort of seems like the launch site is still sort of going to be ready before the booster's ready to static fire at least. I think once the doors, was said in show and tell, maybe once the doors are in place, we may even get to see a water deluge test on the top plate fairly soon after. Perhaps. We might wrap up with Pad A, Pad Scrap, what do you want to call it? And there's not as many questions this week in chat, so I'll get you all to save up all your questions for next week's show. Well, we seem to have done well without questions today. So this pad, yeah, they're definitely digging down there. They're way below grade. They're below grade even over here. This is below grade. Now this is even further below grade. So there's a good chance half of the
all of the cap is gone.
All the pole caps gone. I mean, half of it was done be first and then backfilled, and the other half has been taken out. So all the pole caps gone.
And then of course, the other thing that we've been seeing them doing over the last few days or so is pulling all the sheep islands out of the ground.
All these sheet piles and some over there. They'll obviously have to have newer ones put back in later on when they start, I guess, when they start digging the new trench. Looks like they're already down to groundwater. I mean, groundwater's getting in. Yeah.
It's well below the water table there. That's why they did the jet grout plug and the Pad B, and why they have had all the dewatering wells, the well points, and then the deeper Venturi ones that they're using at Pad B's trench.
Where did that? 3 hours ago, my goodness. So since this flyover 2, they've had the big crane over here, the LR11000. They've pulled out, I don't know, how many tanks did they remove? All of them or just
the two left ones?
Just two, okay, yeah.
And to add on to that, those two tanks look to have actually arrived at McGregor earlier today.
Yep.
Okay, everything's getting shipped over to McGregor to be reused. I see the hippos from this pump farm went to McGregor's too, yeah?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, there's a load of them actually. Funnily enough, sitting in the scrapyard in McGregor, although that might just be coincidence.
Would they not be something they would sell rather than scrap?
I think
they might. Yeah, I think they might literally just be storing them out the way there. Like I say, it might just be coincidence.
Right, Jake? And yeah, I think they're using it as a transfer area since Sanchez is so busy.
So maybe they could even go to Florida or 37 or 39 or whatever.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So there's no more real questions. I mean, maybe it's time to wrap up the stream. It's not a great deal to go into detail. I mean, we could leave this for another day. I think 3 hours is enough for these shows, I guess. I like this, how they put this massive pile of, I guess they're using their magnet. There's a magnet over here. And, as this guy's crushing up stuff and sorting out rocks and gravel and steel. There's a massive big pile of steel here. It's amazing.
The last thing I'll add, the last methane pump was finally installed.
Yes. There it is there.
Yeah, I had a hell of a shock when I found out about that yesterday. I had no idea about it.
I'm pretty sure that's what that last round of testing we saw was, because they had installed that.
All right. Well, on that, seems that was a good call, Lawrence, as the last thing. Let's just go to this nice photo to finish with. I love this photo. Where is it? This photo, it's a ripper. The colours are amazing. So I thank Matt for the concept and turning the knobs and pushing the buttons and being a ever reliable producer for these live streams. So thank you, Matt.
My pleasure.
Big shout out to the Discord members who contribute, especially Alex and Chrome Kiwi for those images that it very efficiently draw for us. And thanks Mauricio and the whole RGV company for having us, and they're actually the ones hosting all these events, so I really appreciate RGV in general. And I might leave that and say love you, bye.